Scorpio, that subtle but unmistakable feeling that you're being watched. I'm not talking about imagination. I'm talking about something real, palpable, that your Scorpio intuition detected before your conscious mind even processed it. Someone is studying you with a focus that goes far beyond the casual. They're mapping your patterns, deciphering your reactions, cataloging your vulnerabilities. And you need to know why. Because when a Scorpio is being watched like this, it's usually because someone is preparing for something that directly involves you, something that could change everything. Over the past few days, you've probably noticed little clues. Someone asking seemingly innocent questions that touch on exactly the points you'd rather keep private. Someone showing up in the right places at the right times, as if they knew where you'd be. Conversations that seem casual, but leave you feeling uneasy afterward. As if you've revealed more than you intended. As if you've been subtly interrogated without realizing it. You tried to ignore these signs because you didn't want to appear suspicious or overly cautious. After all, you know your tendency to read hidden intentions where there might not be any. But this time is different. This time, something on your internal radar is beeping with an insistence that can't be dismissed. And the more you pay attention, the more you realize that yes, someone is definitely paying attention to you in a way that goes beyond the norm. What's most disturbing isn't just being watched. It's the sophistication of that observation. Whoever's doing it knows you well enough to know how to approach you without immediately arousing suspicion. They know exactly how to read your micro-expressions, how to interpret your silences, how to deduce what you're feeling even when you hide it perfectly. This person is playing on your level, and that's rare. Because you, Scorpio, are a master at reading people while remaining unreadable. But someone has managed to turn the tables. There's a specific reason for this careful surveillance. Someone needs something from you, or needs to neutralize you in some way, or is trying to find out something you know. It could be a question of power, of control, of valuable information you possess without even realizing it. It could be that this person is trying to study you to manipulate you later, or it could be something even deeper, someone trying to understand how you work because they see you as a threat or an opportunity. The most disturbing thing is that the person watching you could be someone you'd never suspect, someone in your inner circle who has access to your daily life, who you've let slip your guard. Because to observe a Scorpio with this precision, you need to be close. You need to have earned some level of trust, and that's exactly why you didn't spot the surveillance sooner, because it came from someone you considered safe. Scorpios born between October 23rd and November 2nd. The person observing you is interested in your personal power and influence. They want to learn how you achieve what you achieve, how you exert control over situations and people. For those born between November 3rd and 12th, the observation concerns your secrets and privileged information. Someone wants to discover what you know. And for those born between November 13th and 21st, the surveillance concerns your strategies and next moves. Someone is trying to anticipate what you're about to do. All Scorpios are being watched for a reason beyond casual curiosity. There's a clear intention, a specific goal behind this focused attention. And the sooner you identify who it is and what they want, the more control you'll have over the situation. Because right now, you're being studied without fully understanding why, which puts you at a disadvantage. And you know that a disadvantaged Scorpio is a vulnerable Scorpio. The observation you're feeling has specific characteristics. It's not the open, honest attention that comes from someone genuinely interested in you as a person. It's the calculating attention that comes from someone trying to gather data, map weaknesses, and find entry points. Like a chess player studying their opponent before making a crucial move. Like a predator observing their prey before attacking. Like a strategist analyzing the terrain before battle. And you feel it in your skin, because Scorpio recognizes this energy. You've observed others this way yourself when you had your own reasons for studying them. You know the feeling of focusing intensely on someone, of paying attention to every detail, of building a complete psychological profile. Now you're on the other side of this equation, and it makes you deeply uncomfortable because you don't like being known in this depth by someone whose intentions you haven't fully deciphered. Now I need you to do something important. Think for a moment. Have you ever felt like someone knows more about you than they should? That someone is always one step ahead of your intentions? If so, write exactly this in the comments. Yes, I feel that. No need to give details, no need to explain. Just confirm that you recognize this feeling. Because your participation here isn't just for you. It's so other Scorpios can see that they're not alone in this experience. That this subtle surveillance is real and that many are feeling the same way. By commenting, you create a network of mutual recognition. You validate the intuition of others who, like you, questioned whether they were being paranoid or if there was really something going on. So please write, yes, I feel that. And if you're still not sure, but something inside you is telling you that someone might be watching, write, I'm starting to notice. Your voice matters. Your experience matters. And by sharing, you help others trust their intuition too. What makes this situation particularly complex for you, Scorpio, is that you're used to being the observer, not the observed. You're the one who typically holds privileged information about others. You're the one who knows their secrets, who understands their hidden motivations, who sees through their masks. Having someone do this to you completely inverts the power dynamics you're used to. And this isn't just uncomfortable, it's deeply threatening to your sense of control. The person watching you knows this. They know you value privacy and power in equal measure. They know you fiercely protect your inner world. And that's precisely why the surveillance is so careful, so strategically planned, because they understand that if you detect the observation too early, you'll close all doors, reinforce all defenses, and become completely impenetrable. But you've already noticed, haven't you? That feeling of being watched doesn't leave you. It's there when you wake up, a subtle but persistent weight on your conscience. It's there when you interact with certain people, an inner voice whispering that something isn't right. It's there in the quiet moments, when you review recent conversations and notice patterns you hadn't noticed while they were happening. This surveillance, you feel, has layers. On a superficial level, the person is observing your external behaviors, where you go, who you talk to, what you do, but on a deeper level, they're trying to decipher your inner workings. How you think, what motivates you, what scares you, what makes you act. And it's at this deeper level that the real threat lies, because those who know you this deeply have power over you in ways you can't even imagine. The purpose of this intensive observation will soon become clear. Maybe the person will make a move that finally exposes their intentions. Maybe you'll piece it together on your own and have a sudden revelation about what's going on. Maybe a third party will alert you to something being planned, but one way or another, the reason behind this surveillance will become clear, and when that happens, you'll have to decide how to respond. Confront them directly, pretend you don't know and observe back, cut them out of your life completely. Use the knowledge that you're being observed as a strategic advantage. Each option has its consequences, and the right choice depends on who the person is and what they want. But one thing is certain, you can't keep ignoring the signs. You can't keep telling yourself you're imagining things. Your Scorpio intuition is rarely wrong when it comes to detecting hidden intentions. And in this case, it's screaming at you that yes, you are being watched, studied, and analyzed with a specific purpose in mind. What this person is trying to discover can vary. They might be trying to understand how you got something they also want. They might be seeking information to use against you later. They might be trying to find a way to manipulate you into doing something that benefits their plans. They might simply be fascinated by you and trying to decipher the mystery you represent. But even this fascination can be dangerous if it's accompanied by malicious intent. The observation may have been going on for longer than you realize. It may have started weeks or even months ago, so subtly that you didn't notice it in the early stages. The person may have been extremely patient, gathering information in small doses, never doing anything too obvious that might set off your internal alarms. Only now, when they have a substantial profile of you, have they begun to become less cautious, allowing you to detect the surveillance. This means she already knows a lot about you, more than you'd like her to know. She knows your patterns, your preferences, your weaknesses. She knows what irritates you, what motivates you, what makes you let your guard down. She has a mental map of how you work that can be used to either get closer to you or harm you, depending on her intentions. Scorpio, in the coming days, pay extra attention to those who ask other people questions about you. Those who always seem to know where you are or what you're doing without you telling them directly. Those who demonstrate knowledge of your preferences, fears, or plans that you don't remember sharing. Those who have reactions that would only make sense if they were following your life more closely than you realize. Also, notice subtle changes in the behavior of those close to you. Someone who suddenly becomes more interested in your routine. Someone who starts asking more personal questions disguised as casual concern. Someone who shows up in unexpected places with very convenient excuses. These could be signs that this person is the observer, or that someone is using them to gather information about you. The surveillance you're feeling has an urgent purpose. It's not passive observation or long-term casual interest. It's active preparation for something imminent. The person is accumulating knowledge about you because they plan to use it soon. It could be to make an offer you can't refuse. It could be to execute a plan in which you're a central player. It could be to confront you about something they've discovered. It could be to manipulate you in such a sophisticated way that you won't realize it until it's too late. What should alert you most is that this person is making a considerable effort. Observing someone this way requires time, attention, and dedication. No one does it without a strong reason. The fact that someone is investing so much in studying you indicates that you are very important to their plans, whether as a potential ally, an adversary to be neutralized, or a source of something valuable they need. You may be wondering why you're being watched specifically now. The answer lies in recent changes in your life or that person's life. Perhaps you've achieved some new level of power or success that has caught your attention. Perhaps you possess information that has become valuable due to changing circumstances. Perhaps you're on the path to something this person also wants. Or perhaps they've simply decided the time has come to make their move, and intensive observation is part of the preparation. The nature of this surveillance also reveals something about the sophistication of the observer. This isn't just an ordinary person with superficial curiosity. This is someone who understands psychology, strategy, and manipulation. Someone who knows how to be invisible while seeing everything. Someone who in many ways operates similarly to you. And that's precisely why they've been able to observe you undetected for so long, because they play by the same rules you do. But now that you know you're being watched, the game has changed. This person's advantage was their ignorance. Now that you're aware, you can begin to control what they see. You can feed them false information. You can change patterns to confuse their analysis. You can watch them back and discover what they really want. The power returns to your hands when you transform awareness into strategy. The revelation of the reason behind the observation may come suddenly or gradually. It may be a direct confrontation where everything finally comes to light. It may be a series of small revelations that gradually piece together the complete picture. You may accidentally discover something that exposes the entire plan, or you may simply piece it together using your natural ability to deduce. When the truth emerges, you'll experience a mix of validation and betrayal. Validation because your intuition was right all along. You really were being watched. Betrayal because the person doing this is likely someone who had some level of access to your life, someone you didn't expect to study you this way. But along with these emotions will come something more powerful. Absolute clarity about who your real allies are and who the undercover players are. The situation will act as a filter, separating the genuine from the opportunists. And this clarity, though gained through an uncomfortable experience, will be incredibly valuable for your future choices. Scorpio, what you do with the information that you're being watched depends on your personal strategy. You can choose to confront, avoid, manipulate back, or simply cut the person out of your life. There's no universal right answer. There's only the right answer for your specific situation. The important thing is that you're now operating with knowledge rather than ignorance. The person watching you may not expect you to find out. They may be so confident in their own subtlety that they'll continue until it's too late to hide it. And that's where you have your opportunity to completely turn the tables, to become the observer of the observer, to understand not only that you're being watched, but why and how to use it to your advantage. The ultimate purpose of this surveillance may be more complex than you imagine. It may involve people other than you and the observer. It may be part of a larger situation in which you are just one piece, but an important one. It may connect to past events you thought were resolved. It may pave the way for future developments you didn't anticipate. But regardless of the complexity, the central question remains. Someone is watching you because you have something they want. You know something they need to know, or you pose some kind of threat or opportunity to their plans. And until you identify exactly which of these categories applies, you can't formulate an appropriate response. In the coming days and weeks, your mission is twofold. First, identify who's watching you. Second, find out why. And once you have both pieces of information, you'll have all the power you need to decide your next move. Because knowledge is power, especially for a Scorpio. And you're about to learn something someone tried very hard to keep hidden from you. The feeling of being watched won't go away until you resolve the situation. It will continue to bother you, keeping you alert, preventing you from fully relaxing. Use this discomfort as fuel for your investigation. Let it motivate you to uncover the truth instead of paralyzing you with paranoia. Because the difference between paranoia and legitimate caution is that paranoia imagines threats. Caution responds to real signals. And the signals you're picking up on are very real. When you finally figure out who's watching you and why, you'll look back and realize there were clues everywhere. Conversations that now make sense in a new light. Behaviors that reveal their true meaning. Coincidences that weren't coincidences at all. And you'll wonder how you didn't see it before, but the truth is, you did. Your intuition registered everything. It was just waiting for your conscious mind to catch up with what your subconscious already knew. Scorpio, trust your feelings. If something inside you tells you you're being watched, you are. If your intuition points to a specific person, it's probably right. If you sense a hidden purpose behind certain actions, there is. You're not going crazy. You're not being overly suspicious. You're not imagining things. You're detecting a reality that others can't see because they lack your sensitivity to hidden dynamics. Full disclosure is approaching. The mask will fall. The observer will be observed. And when that happens, you'll discover not only who was watching you, but also how powerful you are when you're fully aware and engaged. Because a Scorpio who knows they're being watched is infinitely more dangerous than one who's unaware. And whoever's watching you is about to find out in the most shocking way possible. If this message resonated deeply with you, if you recognize the feeling of being watched, don't keep it to yourself. Go back to the comments if you haven't already and leave your mark. Write, "Yes, I feel that," to confirm your experience. Or write, "I'm starting to notice," if the pieces are falling into place now. Your participation isn't just a comment, it's an act of power. It's you saying, "I see what's happening and I'm not afraid to acknowledge it." Subscribe to the channel because the surveillance situation you're experiencing will evolve rapidly, and you'll need guidance on how to deal with the revelations that are coming, how to confront when necessary, how to protect yourself when appropriate, how to use this knowledge to your strategic advantage. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates that may be crucial to your specific situation. The surveillance is real. The observer exists. The purpose will be revealed. And when all comes to light, you will be prepared, no longer as the unsuspecting observer, but as the strategist you always were, now fully aware of every player and every move on the board. Beware, Scorpio, but fear not, because now you know. And knowledge, for you, has always been synonymous with power.